Hi comic book fans and welcome to another suddenlycomics.com video. Today I'm going to show you three things, three different collectibles that arrived yesterday in the post. And I'm going to have a little bit of a quiz. You need to answer the questions I'm going to answer in your own head. Or put them down on a bit of paper and see if you get them right. So the three things I'm going to show you, I want to know which of them cost me the most money and when the originals first appeared. Who is the oldest, who is the second oldest, and who is the youngest of the three things I'm going to show you. Okay, right, so the first thing, I'm going to show you them all and then I'm going to talk a bit about them, so it gives you a bit of time to answer the questions. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this is a facsimile, a special collector's edition facsimile of the first ever Beano book. Okay, so that's item one. Okay, it comes in a slipcase and it is a numbered, it's number 100,078 out of 2,000. Okay, so that is the first item. Okay, so when did the Beano first start? Right, second item is this great big massive book here. This is Dan Dare 2, and it reproduces exactly as facsimiles the two big Dan Dare stories which first appeared in the Eagle comic. So I want to know when did Dan Dare first appear? Was it before or after the first Beano book? And also, did this cost me more or less than the Beano book? I'll give you a clue. This has still got its original sticker on it from when it was sold, and when this was sold in 1988, this was £17.95. Okay, it's a huge thing. It's all in colour. Reproduces the Eagle magazine. So, when did Dan Dare first appear, and did that cost me more or less than my facsimile Beano annual? Right, the third one, on a completely different note, is this one. This is a I'm not sure how this is going to come across on here. This is a foil David Nakayama Amazing Spider-Man. Okay, so that is a new comic. I bought it off a dealer on Whatnot this week. So when did Spider-Man first appear? Did he appear before or after Dan Dare and the first Beano book? And did this cost me more or less than the other two things that I've shown? Okay, you've got about 10 seconds to answer those questions. There are no prizes. You can just have a nice feel of satisfaction if you get the right answers. If you get all six right, so if you get the ages right and you get the pricing right, then drop me a note below, just so that I can know that you got it all right as well. Right, there are no prizes. Okay, so I'm going to start with the oldest. I think you probably got this. It is the Beano book. Beano, this is the commemorative case. So this is beautiful, absolutely mint. That goes in the case like that. You can see the spine there. And it says on the back here, Beano book number 1, the Beano comic launched in July 1938. So the Beano has been around since July 1938 and proved to be such a huge hit that Scottish publisher DC Thomson decided to expand on the comic's success by releasing the yearly Beano book in the autumn of 1939. The first edition, dated 1940, was published as a Christmas title during the early years of the Second World War. Despite all the restrictions which the war imposed, the Beano book has appeared every year since, bringing a bucket full of fun and laughter to millions of children and grown-up kids alike. over 60 years later, well, this was, when was this? This was produced in 2004. So this is now running, Beano has now been running for 85 years, and it is the longest running comic of all time. If you want to have a guess, try and have a guess of what issue the Beano is currently on. I just checked this up to see what issue number the latest issue is, and I'll tell you, it is issue 4246. Yes, that's 4246. That is easily the world's longest running comic, from 1938 all the way through to today. You can still get the Beano. Right, so there we go. This is fabulous. Okay, look at the condition of this. It is very, very clean. I'm going to tell you the prices of these at the end. And we have a certificate of authenticity in here. Let's show you that, from 2004. This is in mint. I don't think anybody's ever opened this until I did. Now, the characters on the front here, there's only, as far as I can see, there's only one surviving character who's still going today. This character here was the lead character. If you get it in a quiz, who was the first person to appear in the Beano? It was Big Ego. Appeared on the cover of issue 1 of the Beano. That's that ostrich character, no longer around. The character who is still going is the little character here on the swing with the top hat. That is Lord Snooty. Lord Snooty and pals are still going. So one could claim they're the longest running comic character, because he has been running for 85 years. Lord Snooty, there you go. Not Dennis the Menace, he appears later. Beryl the Peril, quite a long running character, but she wasn't in this issue either. So there we have it, from 19, and it's fantastic. I mean, there is some fairly dodgy racial stereotyping going on here, and we do get a character who uses the word N in his title. I won't show you that. There's Big Ego. I mean, this is a beautiful production. Now then, if I had a look on the eBay to see if there was a copy of this in the original form. There was an original 1940 Beano annual. It wasn't in great shape, and it was up for sale for 2,500 quid. Okay, so how much did this commemorative issue in its slipcase with a certificate of authenticity cost me? That's the first one. Okay, the second one, we're going to move on to the second oldest. Yes, you probably got the ages of these right. Dan Dare is older than Spider-Man. Okay, Dan Dare started in Eagle comic in 1950, drawn by Frank Hampson, and who originally also did the writing as well. This magnificent tome here faithfully reproduces the comic strips from the Eagle magazine over a period of about 3 years. So it came out weekly, and every week you got a 2-page bit of Dan Dare. So Frank Hampson had to do 2 pages of Dan Dare every week. In this we get 2 stories, so only 2 stories. So one is called The Red Moon, which is basically about a rogue planet that's going to crash into Earth. That goes on for about I think it goes on for about 18 months. And then we've got a story called Marooned on Mars. So those of you who don't know Dan Dare is sort of a bit like Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers. He's a sort of pilot of the future. His main difference from the others is that he's British, born in Manchester, and his sidekick, Colonel Digby, who's got hair my colour, was born in Wigan. So This is really good. This came out in 1988, so this is over 30 odd years old. In fact, we are further away from the production of this than this was from the original Dan Dare stories. But it's in fantastic shape, minty condition. As I say, got it on eBay this week. How much did that cost me? Was it more or less than the Beano commemorative issue? Right, finally, you will all know this character. This is, of course, the amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker, who has been around for some time. So when did Peter Parker? He's a new boy, newcomer on the block. So he first appears in Amazing Fantasy 15, I think in July 1962. And then having done that, he gets his own comic, The Amazing Spider-Man issue 1, which is now a long-running comic, but it hasn't quite reached 4,246 issues yet. I'm sure if you gather together all the various comics with Spider-Man in, there would be probably more than 4,246 of them, but they're not consecutive run. Okay, those are my 3 comics. Did this cost me more or less than the other 2? Now I'm going to include shipping charges. Okay, so the total price will include the shipping charges. So have you worked out which of these was the most expensive? Right, I am going to start with the one of these that cost me the least. Believe it or not, this fantastic book here, I won an eBay auction for £3.20, and it cost me another £3.20 to ship it. So this cost me delivered £6.40. That is such a crime. No way should this be so cheap. It just shows you how some of these characters go out of fashion. This is a comic for old farts like me, and we're dying out. I mean, Dan Dare has been revived a number of times actually since the end of the Eagle comic, but he's not as popular as he used to be. Right, £6. So that was the cheapest. Which one was the next cheapest? Was it the Beano or the Spider-Man? This is criminal as well. This beautiful commemorative edition with certificate of authenticity. Now, when I checked this up on eBay sold, the last one of these with a certificate in this condition sold for £52. I won this for £13.50 with another, I think it was another £3 postage. This cost me just slightly less than £17. Absolute steal. That is cracking. You really can get some fantastic deals on eBay. That is going into my PC and will not leave it until I've left this mortal coil. Right. So the most expensive one, I think some of you will have guessed this, and I got a good deal on this, was this. This cost me 20 quid on a Whatnot auction, and probably about £1 postage. It came with some other comics and postage was about £2.70. So let's say 21 quid. So that one was the most expensive of the 3, which in my view is completely crazy. I mean, where are you getting more value for your money? I mean, I do like it, otherwise I wouldn't have bought it. And I do like the sort of silvery, flashy eyes. I'm always up for a bit of bling. You know, loved all that 90s blingy stuff when we had comics like that in the 90s. So there you go. The most expensive and the newest, the most recent character. The middle price, but the oldest, dates back to 1938, the Beano. And then we have what is criminally cheap. Dan Dare was the lowest cost of these, and he was in the middle. He was after the Beano but before Spider-Man. So there you go. If you got all 6 right, I'll believe you. Let me know in the comments below. I hope you've enjoyed this little video about 3 very different comics and characters. That is your lot. See ya again soon.